Hello students, welcome in another session of 12 Computer Science, Paper 1. Now let us proceed. Chapter 3 C++. Student, in previous session we have seen operator overloading and its syntax and what is the difference friend function and member function in operator overloading. Now in this session I am explaining virtual function. Virtual function is an example of runtime polymorphism. Now you know what is polymorphism and types of polymorphism. In types of polymorphism, compile time polymorphism, runtime polymorphism. In compile time polymorphism, function overloading and operator overloading is the example of compile time, and virtual function is the example of runtime. Now virtual function means, what do you mean by virtual function? Why it is used, where it is used, what is the advantage of this virtual function? Now let us see virtual function. When user use the same name in both the function or both the base and derived classes. Now you know base class and derived class. Already we have seen this. What do you mean by base class and derived class? Base class is original class and derived class is create new class from the base class. So base and derived classes, the function in base class is declared as virtual using the keyword virtual preceding its normal declaration. Means like a friend function. Okay. When you use virtual function, then is declared always in base class. It's preceded by virtual keyword. Student, if the keyword virtual is used, the system will use late binding. Now you know late binding and early binding. Okay, late binding, it is also called as runtime polymorphism. Means that function run at the or occur invoke at the runtime. Okay, and early binding means that function invoke at the compile time. This is the difference between them, late binding and early binding. So student, if the keyword virtual is used, the system will use late binding, which is done at runtime. But if the keyword is not included, see, if the keyword is not included, which keyword? Virtual keyword, early binding will be used. Means compile time. Okay, means that function invoke at the compile time. When virtual keyword is not used, then early binding will be used, means that function invoke at the compile time. In early binding, which function to be executed is decided at compile time. So it will execute the function in base class only. But in late binding, that is decided at runtime. So it will execute appropriate function from derived class. Understood, student? This is a late and early binding. In late binding, it decides function according to contents of pointer, while in early it decides function execution according to type of pointer. This is the difference between early and late binding. Okay, means when user use the same name, means same name, when user create base class or derived class, in base class create one function, in derived class create one function, that both function name are same, then at that time user used virtual function. Okay, and that virtual declare or always in base class. That is very important. It is preceded by virtual keyword. Virtual functions can be accessed through the use of a pointer declared as a pointer to the base class. What do you mean by this statement? Student, normally now you know how to invoke member function. Already we have seen how to declare member function, how to write definition of that member function, how to invoke that member function. How to invoke member function in class? Through object. Okay, first create the object of that class, then through object invoke the member function which is declared in that class. Okay, means object name dot function name, member function name. Okay, means see here, virtual functions can be accessed through the use of a pointer declare as a pointer to the base class. Means student, here also use same method but slightly different. What is the difference? That slightly difference means normally you can create, usually you will be create object of that class. Okay, means base class or derived class, but also pointer is created. Okay, which pointer? Base class pointer. Which pointer? Base class. Declare pointer to the base class. This is very important. Understood? What do you mean by virtual function? Means student, virtual functions, if two functions with the same name have different prototype. You know what do you mean by prototype? Sorry, prototype always declared at the top of the program. Okay, C++ consider them as overload function, and at the virtual function mechanism is ignored. Okay, now you know overload function and virtual function. First, what do you mean by overload function? Function overloading. Function overloading means same name but different type data type of argument. Suppose two functions declared in class. Suppose add. Okay, addition is a function. In addition, two variables are used. Okay, and second function same name addition but three variables are declared. Means here function name is same but argument list are different. Means in first function two variables are used, in second function three variables are used. This is called as function overloading. Okay, then how to identify that function overloading? When you pass two numbers, then compiler access to where it is matched that two arguments, that function is invoked. Suppose you pass three integer or three numbers, then compiler match that three numbers where it is matched in three arguments, where it is passed in which function, that function will be invoked. Okay, this is the function overloading. And the virtual function is a call or it's invoke at the runtime. Okay, now see rules for virtual function. Suppose you want to declare virtual function, then what is the rule to declare virtual function? Now see, first the virtual functions must be member of some class. Means suppose you declare function, but that function always declare under some class, means it is called as member of some class. They are accessed by using object pointers. Means you can create object of base class. It is called as object pointers. Now how to declare that pointer or how to access object pointer, see in after that slide. A virtual can be a friend of another function or another class. Means suppose when you declare virtual function, it can be friend of another class. Okay, means you can access that virtual function in another class. A virtual function must be member of, this is a repeat statement. They cannot be static members. Now you know what do you mean by static. Suppose static, declare any data type or function as a static, it is initialized as a 0 is automatically take 0 value, so they cannot be static members. A virtual function in base class must be defined even though it may not be used. Means always remember, virtual function or virtual keyword always declare in base class. Okay, means it may not be used, must in base class must be defined even though it may not be used. Suppose you don't want that function, but it's always declared in base class. We cannot have virtual constructors, but we have virtual destructors. Student, you know constructor and destructor. Constructor means to bind the data. Destructor means destroy the data which is created by constructor. Okay. Now, when virtual function is used, then cannot have virtual constructor. Suppose in that program you can use constructor or destructor within virtual function, but student, rule is say we cannot have virtual constructor. Means when virtual function is used in that program, you can't use constructor or you can't create constructor, but we have virtual destructor. This is a special rule. Okay, virtual functions are defined in base class. They need not be redefined in derived class. Means virtual function declare always in base class. It is not necessary to declare again in derived class. This is the basic rules to declare virtual function. Now see example of virtual function. Students, see simple program we have to write here. Class A means class name, here two class, base class is create and derived class is create. Okay, now class A is a base class. Now in class A some variable are declared. Data type is integer, variable name is x. Now in public part, public access specifier, student always remember, when class is declared, every function which is declared in class, always remember that function always declare under public access specifier. Okay, now you know what do you mean by public, private and protected. So always remember public access specifier. Void show, one member function is declared show. Now in show function just write one statement, see out base class. Means students, see here in class A, in that class A one member function is declared. In member function some statement is displayed. This is a base class. Okay, now end of class A. See here semicolon is given. Okay, semicolon means it indicates class end. Now one derived class is declared. Suppose derived class is B. Okay, now class B means class is a keyword, B is a derived class name, then colon. Okay, see here colon, then access specifier, then base class name. Now here class, new derived class name is B, then colon, access specifier used public and base class name is A. So here write A. Now in class B, one integer data type variable is declared, name as Y. Now in public access specifier, again void show member function is declared. Now in this member function just display one statement, derived class. Okay, now end of this show and end of this derived class name. Okay, now student, see in this example what is the same thing in this program. See here in class A void show is declared. Okay, and in class B again void show is declared. Means in class A same name and in class B also same name. Then when this program is run, at that time compiler is confused which function is run. Then at that time Compiler display only base class this statement at 2 times. Why 2 times? Because one more function is declared. Okay, so only base class is display 2 times. Pointer can't go this derived class name. So how to avoid this problem? At the in this program, show function used 2 times. Then how to avoid this problem? Using virtual function. Now see, same program write again using virtual function. See here, again class A, same int x, okay, then public void show begin out base class, end of show function, end of class A. Now see here, virtual keyword is used, and where it is declared? In base class. A is a base class, function is a show, virtual keyword preceded by this base function. Okay, now derived class is created, class B colon public A. Now in this class B, again one member function is declared void show. Okay, in this show, see out derived class, end of this show class, and end of derived class name. Now what is the difference between these two class, student? In first program, virtual keyword is not used. So what is the output in this program? Base class display as 2 times. Okay, now in this program, virtual keyword is used in base class. So what is the output for this program? Now see, first write main program. In main program, how to invoke member function? As usually using object. Okay, now create base class object. Base class is A, object is Z. Okay, again in this virtual function program, B class object is created. Okay, when virtual function is used, then how many derived class is created? Each class you can create object of each class. Okay, base class, then derived 1, derived 10, depends upon that program. Okay, now in this program only one derived class will be created. So here in base class create one object, derived class created one object. Base class object name is Z, derived class object name is X. Now one more thing is added in this virtual function. When virtual function is used, base pointer will be created. Means base class create a pointer. Okay, see here, star pointer. Star indicates pointer. PTR is a variable. You can give any name of pointer. Okay, so this is a pointer variable. This pointer variable create a base class. Okay, understood, student? Now see, next, PTR is equal to %Z. What do you mean by this %? %, means address or memory address. Okay, %, means memory address. Means what is the meaning of this statement? Pointer PTR is equal to %Z, means Z is a object for which class? A. Now where it is stored, whatever declare in base class, that address assigned to PTR, and then PTR, see arrow and show function. Okay, show function here invoke. Now how to this sign will be print? See, this sign is not available on keyword. Right, press minus sign and greater than sign. Okay, combine these two keys, pointer, then arrow, then show. Okay, then in this statement, when pointer comes out this statement, then this function will be invoked. Now after ending this, again go to next statement. Then again here pointer is equal to %Z. Sorry student, instead of Z write here X. Okay, because X is a pointer of derived class. Okay, x is a pointer of derived class. Now already in this statement, pointer of base class assigned here. Now pointer of object of derived class assign this pointer. Okay, here object of base class assign this pointer, and ptr is equal to here and %x. Okay, and %x. Now ptr arrow sign show means when pointer comes through here, then pointer goes to here, and after finishing this, go to again end of this main. Understood, student? Now what is the output when executing this program? Okay, output is display base class. Okay, and another is derived class. This is the output of this in program. Okay, this is the output. Understood, student? What is the difference between normal member function and virtual member function? Again, see, virtual always declare in base class preceded by virtual keyword. Okay, then base create pointer of base class as well as object, and create object of derived class. Then assign the both classes address of both object to pointer. Okay, see here, to pointer, and then through pointer invoke the member function which is declared in base class and derived class. Understood, student? What do you mean by virtual function? Rules of virtual function and how to use virtual function. Okay, so this assignment is also given. Explain the concept of virtual function and state the 8 rules for virtual function that satisfy compiled requirement. Okay, now end of this session 12. Thank you.